Hello and welcome to our video on the 5 best flip back helmets for 2026. Let's take a look. So, flip back helmets, basically modular helmets with extra functionality. Now some people call them flip back helmets, some people call them flip over helmets, some people call them hybrid helmets. I like that name very much because it indicates that these helmets do a little bit of everything, and that is indeed the case, as I'm going to be telling you and showing you in this video. Now before we dive into the details, it's worth mentioning that all of these helmets have quite a lot in common with one another. First and foremost, they are all modular helmets with a chin bar that can be rotated all the way to the back. Let me illustrate this. On a typical modular helmet, you'll open the chin bar and it'll hang around, let's say around here, which is a bit of a wind catcher. However, with this type of helmet, you can rotate it all the way to the back, making sure that the helmet has a more balanced feel when riding at higher speeds. Secondly, all of these helmets are PJ homologated, which means that you can use them legally with the chin bar closed and the chin bar open and flipped to the back. And thirdly, all of them are of course ECE 2206 rated, the newest and most up-to-date certification. Well, that's enough rambling. Let's get into the specifics, starting with the Scorpion EXO-TECH EVO PRO. Now, not only is this helmet one of the best, it's also one of our favourites. This helmet has been a bestseller for years, and that of course is not without reason. The helmet is comfortable to wear, it has rugged good looks, the mechanism on the flip back system is very strong, sturdy, will last you for years, and it's just generally a very tried and tested helmet that many people are very positive about, and we are no exception. Now this helmet is not the lightest in the lineup, which is a shame, but then again it's not overly heavy and the balance of the helmet is fairly good, so in a way that's all still in order. Slider on the left side operates the internal sun visor. The helmet of course comes with a Pinlock anti-fog lens which can be installed on the inside of the visor. The lining is removable and washable, and you can also install a communication system in this helmet. Now, bottom line, I would say a lot of helmet for the money. Next up is the Nolan N120-1. A little bit of a downgrade when compared to the Scorpion, but that's only because the helmet shell is a bit bulkier and it's made from Lexan polycarbonate instead of fiberglass. It's still one of the 5 best, and it's packed with features that I really like, such as the large outer visor, which is definitely one of the biggest ones in the lineup, and the viewing angles in this helmet are just great. It also comes with a Pinlock anti-fog lens which matches the shape and size of the visor, so you won't be looking at any Pinlock edges and you won't have a foggy visor. Another thing I like is the dual action chin mechanism. The way you open this helmet is not with one button, as is the case with many helmets. You have to open this side and then you have to push down this side, and then you can open the chin bar. Now this is a safety feature of course, and like I said, a lot of helmets only have one button. Now imagine you have an accident and you hit the pavement and that button opens, it could be that your chin hits the pavement as well. Or if you're wearing thick gloves and you brush past the mechanism and you open the chin bar by accident, then that could be a problem as well. But with this helmet that cannot happen at all. As with the Scorpion helmet, the helmet is prepared for a communication system, and in this case you can install the NCOM communication systems, which are made by Sena. And the great thing about those is that they do actually disappear in the helmet shell. There's already a cavity in the back of the helmet for the battery, for the charging port, stuff like that, so that's a very good experience. The helmet's internal sun visor can be dropped down in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notches, so you can set that up to your liking and it will stay there, or you can press the spring-loaded button to get rid of the visor again. Very easy to do. Now, like I said, this could be viewed as a slight downgrade from the Scorpion helmet, but nevertheless, it's a great helmet for a very good price with a lot of functionality and some very clever features. Now the Roof Boxer Alpha helmet is the odd one out in this lineup, and that's not because it's not a good helmet, not one of the 5 best, because it is, it's just very different when compared to the other 4. Now the other 4 could be labelled as all-rounders, and this one isn't really an all-rounder. You'll see this most on Harleys, you'll see it on scooters, custom bikes, but you won't really see people travelling the globe with a helmet like this, because it doesn't have a whole lot of features. Of course, the chin bar rotates all the way to the back, revealing the red devil horns that you'll see on the road now and again. Oh yeah, and revealing the face of the sorting hat from Harry Potter, but other than that, it doesn't have a whole lot of features. It doesn't have an internal sun visor. I wouldn't advise installing a communication system in this helmet because there's not a lot of room for something like that. But like I said, it's a very comfortable helmet. It's such a classic icon, and it is actually one of the first helmets, if not the first, that had this rotating chin bar system. So the Roof Boxer Alpha, it looks great, it's a solid helmet, and if you register it for the warranty you get about 7 years, I believe. So a great lid, but not something to consider if you're going to be traveling the globe or just basically want a helmet that has a lot of features. Next up is the HJC F100. So we're back in the land of the all-rounders, if we can call them that, and it has pretty much the same features as the other helmets. Of course, it has the pin lock for the outer visor, it has the chin bar that rotates all the way to the back, what a surprise, and it has an internal sun visor, which is smooth and good to operate. The system to lock the helmet is on the left side, as always, and it's just generally a very comfortable helmet to wear, as we're used to from HJC. But the thing that makes this helmet special in the lineup is the carbon outer shell. This helmet is noticeably lighter than the other helmets, and you will definitely feel that while riding, and especially while not riding. At the end of the day, a well-designed helmet will always ride the wind in some way or another. So during the ride, you won't feel a massive difference in weight, but when you're off the bike, discussing the next location to travel to, getting petrol, that's when you're going to feel the difference. So this helmet excels in its wearing comfort and of course the low weight. But there is one problem that they haven't fixed yet with this helmet or the other flipbacks in this lineup, and that is wind noise. That wasn't me. And last but not least, we have the LS2 Advant X helmet. Now this helmet doesn't really add any new features, except for one that's very interesting, and that is the emergency quick release cheek pad system. Now, in the event of an accident, you can pull these tabs at the bottom, the ones that say pull, and then you can easily remove the lining of the helmet. That's not necessarily something that you'll be doing yourself, but paramedics can use this to easily remove the helmet without yanking at your head and thus possibly making injuries worse than they already could be. Now this safety feature may be viewed as something more befitting a full face helmet, which is fair enough because that type of helmet does not have a chin bar that you can open, and by doing so create more room around the cheeks. But then again, removing cheek pads in any accident with any helmet is always better, so I'm always a fan of this feature and I would like to see it on more, if not all helmets in the future. Now, as I already said, this helmet does not really offer any new features apart from that, but everything that it does it fairly well. The mechanism feels solid and in fact more luxurious than the other helmets. The visor is large, it comes with a Pinlock anti-fog lens. Of course, it has the internal sun visor, which can be operated on the left side. The only thing that sometimes feels a little bit more gimmicky and cheap are the ventilation panels, which is odd because the ventilation is very good, but they just feel a little bit flimsy here and there. That being said, this is probably the best all-rounder helmet in the lineup and it will last you for years to come. The LS2 Advant X, definitely worth considering. Well, that pretty much wraps it all up. Thank you very much indeed for watching this video. I hope that you learned something new, and I hope that you now have a better idea of which of these helmets could or could not be the best one for you. If you have any questions still knocking about your head, don't be afraid to ask them. Drop them in the comment section below and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Head over to photomoto.com to check out all the different colours, the different designs, and of course the current prices. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you never miss any of our future content. Thank you. Goodbye.